This
Okay.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Hi everyone. Good morning. So today we'll discuss about the what is the different types of what is cloud computing and what are all the different types of cloud services it is offering and how the CPI is evaluated actually. So here, first let me share my screen. Uh, so are you able to see my screen? Hello. Are you able to see my screen? Anyone? Can you please confirm once? Are you able
Yes,
to see
yes,
my
I can.
screen? Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. Yeah.
If
So,
possible, little more bigger. Can you arrange?
sorry, sorry, Vamsi.
If possible, can you arrange a little more bigger?
So no, that is a screen, right? You are asking this.
Yes, yes.
it- it's not possible. Actually, this is the default size we have.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So I can make as some text as big. So here, so let's start today's session then. So here right now SAP CPI, right? So it is called as SAP CPI, Cloud Platform Integration. So previously we have a on-premise system as well from SAP to connect with the, I mean, to integrate with the multiple systems. So that is a SAP PI slash PO or XI. So first it is an XI server. So XI means Exchange Infrastructure. After few days, it was uh, renamed to the process integration. After that, it is renamed to the process orchestration. So this is a actually it is an on-premise application. So that means it is running on client servers. So this is running on client server. So that means so when you so for example, your client had a requirement to integrate with the multiple systems. So that time, what your client? So client means, for example, if you are working on some Infosys company, you are working for some of the Infosys client. Infosys client means or else BMW or else Toyota. So they have a different companies they are providing the services. So for example, if you are working for Toyota, then Toyota is our client actually. So that client had a requirement to integrate with the multiple systems. So that time they will buy the SAP PI or XI server from the SAP and they will install that server. I mean SAP PI server in the Toyota client server landscape. So that means it was maintained by SAP. SAP PI server is maintained by SAP basis team and also we have to check always we have to maintain some server and also whenever we have some of the updates from the SAP we have to maintain this as well. So all the things will be maintained by our developers only. So SAP is just providing that software and we have to maintain all the patches and all the maintenance. So the running of the server all will be maintained by our client only. So that means our Toyota client only. But coming to the CPI, it is running on cloud actually. So before CPI, SAP CPI is called as a HCI, HANA Cloud Integration. So HCA, HANA Cloud Integration. So after few years, so it was in 2010, 2010 and 2012, it is called as a HCI. After few years, SAP changed the name for the HCI to CPI, Cloud Platform Integration. So for the rebranding purpose. So there is no tool internally, there is no change here. So for the rebranding purpose, now the SAP HCI is called as a SAP CPI. So when some of the developers or some of the documentations of SAP is also, it is called as a CI, SAP CI. CI means cloud integrator. So SAP cloud integrator, SAP CPI is a called as a SAP cloud integrator. So here now it is called as a HCI or CPI. So like now some of the members are called it as a cloud integrator as well. That is called as a CI in short. So this is the evaluation of naming evaluation of the SAP CPI, and what does mean by cloud here. So before cloud platform integration, what is cloud actually? So the cloud is providing actually cloud computing. So the computing is running in the cloud, not in our local machine actually. So what does mean by cloud? So for example, if I wanted to so previous days, in the previous days, uh, if I wanted to edit any of the Word document, what are the requirements? What are all the prerequisites for us to edit that Word document? Is we have to install the MS Office. I mean, first, Windows operating system should be installed in your system. After that, MS Office Suite also should be installed in our systems actually. So that is an on-premise system. I mean, like that is an application installed on our local machine. But nowadays, if you observe, nowadays we have a Office 365, and also we have a Google is providing some of the doc services. So if you see here, here we have a doc services. So these are doc services, the Google Docs. So here, if I wanted to edit, if I wanted to create a new document, just go to the Google Chrome and go to the Google Docs service, and you can create your own templates and own Word documents. So that means the installation of the Word document and everything was done by Google itself. So if we got any update from in the documents editing, so that updates and patch updates all will be maintained by Google itself. We are not maintaining any of the maintenance part here. So this is, so here what is cloud computing, right? So these are the three cloud computings here. So here software as a service. So here they are providing the software as a service here. So MS Word software they are providing as a service here. So wherever we require, just we will use that service, and we will charge for that only whatever we use it. For example, today you used so this is actually free for some of the software services, like if you are using 1 hour per day, so they will charge only per 1 hour. So like that, this uh, software as a service will work actually. Software as a service, so that means here we are not installing any of it, it is ready to use software. So here next one is a platform as a service. So for example, what does mean by platform first of all? So for example, if I wanted to execute one Java program in my system, I would like to run my Java program. So first I have to download the Java software from Oracle. After that I have to install that in my local machine. Then I have to set path and all, right? So instead of doing that, so some of the online compilers also providing the Java platform. So for example, Java T point we have. So this is a Java T point website. So in the Java T point website, you can see here. So we have many of the compilers. So here we have Java, right? So here this is Java. So here we can test it now. So here, if I wanted to test this software, you can directly use this compiler in online itself. So you no need to install the software of the Java, and you can directly test this here itself. So clear. So that is the way. So they are providing Java platform on cloud itself. So that means the program is not running in your machine. The program is running on Java T point server, and it is providing the Java environment for us, and we are executing that code in the Java T-point compiler. So this is about the other platform. They are providing Java platform to execute the Java programs, and also our CPA. So whatever the configuration. So this is actually CPA home page. So the second it is loading actually. Uh, so this is the CPA home page. So whatever the integration, so we are doing this, all integrations will comes under platform as a service. So this is a, so integration platform as a service. So why it is an integration platform? So to integrate a source and target systems, the SAP is providing integration platform. SAP is providing integration platform. So that is the reason a CPA is comes under integration platform as a service. So it will comes under PaaS, I mean like platform as a service, and it is called it as a integration platform as a service. So infrastructure as a service. So next one is a infrastructure as a service. So this infrastructure as a service is used for to maintain. So infrastructure, that means servers, some of the proxies. So proxies means like a load balancers we have, right? So that coming under infrastructure, proxies, and then servers, and then database as well. So for example, database, your real-time database is like a real-time example is our Google Drive. So Google Drive. So for example, if I, so instead of buying the hard disk or I mean pen drives, you are storing the data inside of the Google Drive up to 15 GB. If you want, you can increase the size. So based on our subscription. So this is comes under infrastructure as a service. So that means here software as a service example is uh, MS Word and Google Docs. So platform as a service is CPI, and infrastructure as a service is a like services, Google Drive, and different types of infrastructure services we have in online actually. So here these are about softwares. So here next one is we have a different types of cloud modules actually. So different types of cloud deployment modules. So here this is a public, private, and hybrid actually. So public cloud means, so whatever we are using the present Google Cloud. So actually the cloud, we have a main cloud service providers are, so AWS, Amazon Web Services, AWS, next one is Microsoft Azure, third one is SAP. So these are three are the main service providers of cloud computing actually. So here what does mean by public cloud, what does mean by private cloud, what does mean by hybrid cloud? So public cloud means uh, so let me take one example. uh, so here all the information. So for example, they specified one cloud here. So for example, this is one of the cloud service. So they are storing multiple users data inside of this cloud. So here for example, total we have give me a second. So we have a multiple users here. So that user information will be stored. So here this is one of the user, right? So like this, I have a multiple users here. So here, so here I have a multiple users. So here I have a multiple users. So three users I have here. So these three users information will be stored in this public cloud actually. So the user one, and then a user two, and then a user three. Or else you can think like a organizations as well. So the organization ORG one. So here we have a ORG one. So for example, ORG one, organization one. So this organization one and organization two. ORG2. So organization 2 information also will store in this public cloud actually. So here they are sharing the resources from a one location. I mean, like in a one cloud. So all the users information and organization information will be stored in a one cloud. But for example, this you lost something in between. Hello. You lost something in between the class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We lost some audio loss.
Uh, maybe some disturbance. So where it was disconnected, can you please tell that where it was disconnected?
ORG2.
ORG2. Okay, okay, okay. That's it. So here, this is a ORG1 and ORG2. So this is a public cloud, right? So this public cloud will store the uh, so this is the public cloud. So this public cloud will store the organization's information and then users information. There is no limitation here. So here all users can access their only their data actually. So for example, this organization one data can be accessed by only organization one people. So that organization two information will be accessed by only organization two people. So here even we are using the public cloud internally they have some security mechanism who can access the data who cannot access the data. So that is called a public cloud. So that means public cloud will be shared by the multiple users or multiple organizations actually. So coming to the private cloud. So for example, your organization or else your personal information you wanted to place in a private cloud. So that means the service provider. So who are the service providers like Google or AWS or SAP? They will provide some dedicated cloud service for you. So like some dedicated cloud service for you. So this is comes under private cloud actually. So private cloud. So this private cloud. So this is a private cloud. So this private cloud we can access only our organization people can access this information actually. So for example, our organization is ABC or org. So ABC org. So only who are the members in our organization, they can only who are access to access this private cloud, they can only access that information. So to connect this private cloud also we need some of the VPN softwares as well. To connect with this private cloud, we need to install the VPNs as well. So this private, why we are using private cloud? So if your organization or your personal information is very secure, this is the financial information or something else, then that organizations will go for the private cloud actually. That organization will go for the private cloud. So so this is about private cloud. This private cloud cannot be accessed by the all the users. So they had a specific access to access this private cloud actually. So coming to the hybrid. So we have total three types, right? The first one is public, private, and third one is hybrid. So in my organization, so 50% of data is in a transactional data. So that means that is not required to maintain securely. So that is not required more secure. So but whatever the financial data I need, that should be stored in a private cloud. So that means 50% in a public cloud, 50% in private cloud. So the combination of public cloud and private cloud is call it as a the combination of public cloud and then private cloud call it as a hybrid cloud actually. So got it? The combination. So your one
Sir,
organization. So for
so once repeat again, sir.
Yeah, yeah, sure. The combination of the public cloud and then private cloud. So, for example, I have a XYZ organization. So here I have a XYZ organization. So here I have a transactional data. So transaction. So transaction. So for example, insert transactional data and financial data. So financial data. So the transactional data will be stored in this public cloud, and then financial data will be stored in this private cloud. So this both is called as a, so that this transactional data we are sharing in a public cloud, that financial data we are storing in a private cloud. So this combination, so if you are, our organization is using this combination is called as a hybrid cloud actually. So hybrid cloud. So this is also one of the, I mean, why we are going for this hybrid cloud means, so taking the private cloud, all the transactions and then financial to store the data, taking the private cloud is very cost effective compared to the public cloud. So that is the reason unsecured data will be stored in the public cloud, and secure, I mean, whatever the data we require to secure, that data will be stored in the private cloud. So whenever you have a question like what does mean by hybrid cloud, this, so just a simple answer is the combination of public cloud and private cloud is called it as a
Private cloud.
hybrid cloud. Yes. So clear, right? Any queries here?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So the next one is types of integration scenarios. So here on premise means, so I previously explained, right, that this xi, I mean, like this xcp, I mean, sorry, this SAP CPI is a cloud system, and SAP PI is an on-premise system actually. So on-premise means so in the premises. So premise. So like here you can see within the premises. That means within the premises means that server is available within your organization or else within your client network. So this is called as a on-premise. So cloud means I already explained, it is running and maintained by a service providers. So like SAP or Google or Amazon, I mean Azure servers. So here on-premise to cloud, right? So the CPI can integrate with the on-premise to cloud integrations. So that means on-premise. So so for example, my system is available in the on-premise. The sender system is available in the on-premise. The receiver system is available in the cloud. I mean cloud. So CPI can connect with the on-premise to cloud integrations, and also cloud to on-premise integrations as well, and also cloud to cloud integrations as well. So these are the types of scenarios we can achieve by using CPI. So clear. So these are the three deployment models, and then these are the integration scenarios we can configure here. So before going to the architecture of CPI, so here let me explain about what is HANA Cloud Account here. So before going to in detail, so I will configure one end-to-end integration flow, and that will be very easy how it will is running, and what is tenant management node, and what is runtime node, and what is uh, a tenant actually, what is tenant. So here SAP HANA cloud account, so that is so for example, see, let me log into the SAP HANA cloud account. So that is call it as a, so previously it is called it as a HANA cloud account. So now it is called it as a BTP cockpit. So BTP, so just you can type in the Google or Google Chrome or your uh, Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge. So just click on BTP cockpit. So here you can see this BTP cockpit. So the full form of BTP cockpit. So here you can see this is the endpoint URL http colon slash slash account dot hana dot on demand dot com. So that is the actual endpoint URL here. So here you can see this is BTP, right? So HTTP. So just click on it and it will navigate to BTP home page actually. So it is called as a business technology platform. So it is called as a business technology platform, SAP, a business technology platform. So actually here we have a two options to register here, sign in and register. So if you already have a account, just you can click on sign in or else you can register. So register option I will explain tomorrow, or else I mean like whenever we are done with the first integration flow setup, then I will explain how we can get the CPI trial tenant and all. So here this is sign in, right? So I already have an account in my hand. So let me sign in here. So actually I already log into the CPI page, right? So here it is. So I already log in with this email ID. So this is my email ID, sapcpa098 at the rate gmail.com. So here whenever we are taking this trial tenant, right? So this is actually the trial tenant. So we are using our Gmail ID. So when you are registering with this Gmail ID, you will get this P user actually. So the use of this P user is uh, so the internal SAP ID this is. So this is an internal SAP ID. So based on while you are logging to the BTP cockpit, once you create the account, you can use this username or else you can use this mail ID as well to log in with. So actually P is a practice user. So that is free of cost actually. So that is actually a free of cost. So we also have a yes user. So yes user will be a cost effective, that should be coming that yes user will come from our client actually. So what is the use of yes user here? So the use of yes user is uh, so if I wanted to access my client CPI environment. So you are working in Infosys, you have some uh, you have a client like a Toyota for example. So you have a client like Toyota. So the Toyota client have one, I mean BTP account and a CPI system as well. So to connect with that system, you need that S user actually. S user related, that S user will be created by our basis team or else some of the team members inside of the Toyota landscape. So they will create that S user and they will provide that S user. So for that S user, you have to bind your mail ID of Infosys or else Toyota mail ID. So you have to bind that Toyota mail ID or else Infosys mail ID. So based on that, you can log in to that as user every day. So based by using that as user, you can access the BTP system or else the CPA system. So this is about a P user. S user means in real time we will use this S user. So by using that S user, you can create tickets to SAP as well. So SAP will provide some of the documents that is called as a SAP notes. SAP notes means when you have a errors in SAP, SAP will provide some default documentation for each error. So that information also you can access with the S user only. So with this P user, you cannot access it. So this is the difference between P user and then S user. So again I am explaining, P user is for practice, so this is for trial tenants. So S user is for the real time tenants and S user is a chargeable actually. So by using S user, you can raise a tickets to, if you have a access, you can raise a tickets to SAP, and also what are all the documents provided to SAP, you can access the documents as well. So here this is, so here each client contains one global account actually. So this is global account, right? So here what does mean by global account? So let me enter to the trial home first. So global account, the use of global account is here. each BTP cockpit contains, so each client contains one global account actually. So here I'm again clicking on go to your trial account. So now it is entered into the trial tenant actually. So here you can see, so this is the actual uh, global account home page actually. So here this is the my global account ID. So each client contains one global account. So inside of that it contains a different sub accounts actually. So different sub accounts, see here you can see here I have a trial and then test, two sub accounts. So what is the difference between what is sub account first of all? So every landscape, every system landscape. So for example, I am working on CPI environment. So for testing, for development, I have one system. For testing, I have a one system. For production, I have one system. So total three CPI system access should be available for each customer. So here, so for that, one global account will contains the three sub accounts. So if in my landscape, if I have a three, if I want three CPA tenants, then I need a three sub accounts here. Got it? So three sub accounts. Internal of these three sub accounts, I have a so I have to provision for. I have to get the three CPA tenants actually. Three CPA tenants. So here this is test. This is trial, right? So the sub account is actual running applications actually. The sub account is actual running application. So see here. Whatever the data we created in this sub account internally, it will stored in this Amazon Web Services, that is region US. So the inside of the US region it is storing the data. So let me open this a trial tenant. So you can also create your sub accounts here. So like this you can create your sub account. So here click on sub account. So let me create a sub account for PRD production. So here you can enter the display name actually. So the production. So if you want, you can maintain some description here. So like a PRD. So here we have to select a region. So which you want to store the sub account information. So here we have a two, like a Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure Singapore. So if I want, so here US, and this is CF US10. What does mean by CF here? So let me create this. So CF means Cloud Foundry. So Cloud Foundry means, so this platform is created by SAP, but all the information is storing in this Cloud Foundry servers. Cloud Foundry means that Amazon AWS or else Microsoft Azure. So that means they are storing the data and running their applications on top of this Amazon Web Services. So Cloud Foundry means, so here we have a two types of environments. I mean like BTP is running on two types of environments, that is in a Cloud Foundry CF and then Neo. So here Neo is in a SAP prioritized database. So here this is a provider
Sir,
and then region will be the Neo sometimes.
sir,
Hello,
could you
Chandra
repeat
here.
again?
Trial and test are looking same, no? What is the difference?
Sorry.
Yeah, trial
Try.
and test accounts both are looking same, right? So
Yeah,
what is the difference?
yeah, yeah. Here you can see this is trial, right? So trial and test and production both are looking same here. So
Ah,
here inside of it. So for example, so here this is trial, right? So let me open this trial here. So here we have a multiple services inside of this trial tenant actually. So see here, this is a marketplace, service marketplace. So here you can see total. So what are all the services provided by SAP BTP cockpit? All services you can see here. So for example, if I wanted to get the CPI access. So here you can search for a SAP integration suite. So here you can see integration suite. So for example, this is trial, right? So for example, this is a trial. You can think this is like a development. So you can also think like a development. Assume this is in a development for now. So you can take this. So it is already created. I already created the instance for integration suite. So here go to so here instances and subscriptions. So inside of below of the service marketplace, we have instances and subscriptions. So in that instances and subscriptions, we have integration suite. If I click on it, I will navigate to the CPI home page of development. So I requested you to assume this development, right? So this is a development of SAP CPI system. This is the development of SAP CPI system. So for example, if I go to the test system, so test also contains multiple instances here. So this is a this one, right? So this is a trial 01. So here you can see, here also we have a multiple services. So here this is trial tenant, right? So this is trial tenant. So that is the reason the CPI service is not available, not more than one sub account actually. So here, so if you are a payable version, you will also get that integration suite here as well. So see here, there is no integration suite here. So what now, if you are I mean paid version, you will get that SAP CPI in this test system as well. So now how you are going to how you are going to this integration suite previously, the same way in the instances and subscriptions of the test sub account also, you will get one CPI endpoint URL related to the test environment. The same way we have the production, right? The production also contains a different CPI endpoint URL from this production sub account. So like that, we have total 3 CPI tenants here. So from the different sub accounts. Clear? Clear, Arun? Now you got it. Why
Yes.
these 3 sub accounts we created?
Yeah, yeah, got it.
Yeah. So any queries from anyone? The why we are creating sub accounts here? So like this, how many? So for example, some of the in some of the uh, projects, we also have a pre-production. So if I need a pre-production, then I have to create a new pre-production sub account here. That pre-production internally contains other CPI server. So clear? So that is about our CPI, I mean the sub account. So here in the trial, so for example in the trial, so here let me clearly explain. Here we have a multiple definitions here. So this is a Amazon Web Services. So actually this is an a CF Cloud Foundry. It is running on a Cloud Foundry. What does mean by Cloud Foundry environment? What does mean by Neo environment? So Neo environment is prepared by, so Neo environment is maintained and developed by SAP actually. So that is not an free of cost. So after Cloud Foundry only we will get this with the Cloud Foundry only we will get this trial tenant actually. So here this is the Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. So these two are will be used to store the backend data from this server. So clear? So this is the about the sub account actually, and then regions and different types of deployment models, CF and Cloud Foundry and Neo environment. So here the service marketplace. So here in the service marketplace, we have a multiple services. What are all the services provided by SAP Cloud Services will be available here. So whatever the service you want, just create the, I mean let's subscribe to the topics, I mean subscribe to that services and you can use it as per our requirement. So here you can see this is integration suite. It is already created actually. What happened? So let me refresh the page once. Sorry. So here this is service marketplace, right? So in this service marketplace, all so like a Play Store, how we are using Play Store, right? So they are providing multiple services in the Play Store. So if whatever we require, we are just installing that software and using, right? That is free of cost actually. Some of them are chargeable. But coming to the CPA, I mean like a BTP cockpit, SAP is providing all the services in the service marketplace. So what are the services you require? You can just register for them and you can subscribe to them. So that's all. So here these are the instances and subscriptions. So here I already subscribers. So here the subscriptions are the integration suite and SAP business application studio. So integration suite, right? So what is the use of this integration suite is, so to integrate the multiple systems. So here let's go to the integration suite here again. So let me explain about what is a integration suite. That integration suite internally contains many of the components. So many of the components means the first one is SAP CPI, Cloud Platform Integration. So see, these are the services offered by SAP Integration Suite actually. So here you can say build integration scenarios. So build integration scenarios means to integrate with the source and target system, and based on the transformation logic also we can implement inside of it actually. So this is a building integration scenarios. So this is building integration scenarios means this is CPI. So API management, manage API. So if I wanted to create any APIs, or if I monitor already deployed APIs, then you can use this API management. So this is a trading partner management. So manage trading partners. So the use of this managed trading partners is to in a BTP scenarios. So actually we can integrate with the this see, by using CPA you can integrate two types of integration flows, that is A to A applications and then B to B applications. A to A means application to application. The B to B means business to business applications. So this is used for this to maintain the business partner information, the trading partners. So implement interfaces and mappings here. So implement interfaces and mapping means so this is a one of the service. Here we have a multiple system structures here. So for example, if I want to connect with SAP system, so SAP system internally provides multiple order structures, orders.01, I mean orders.orders01, orders.orders02, invoice dot invoice01, like that we have multiple structures. So we can implement that structures and mappings inside of the integration advisory uh, based on the suggestions from artificial intelligence. So this is a integration advisory. It is called it as a integration advisory in short. So implement interfaces and mappings. So here extend non-SAP connectivity. So for example, if I want to connect with any of the Outlook application from the CPI, so instead of connecting with so then what I will do is go to the Outlook website, and what are all the possibilities to connect with the Outlook applications I will check actually. So instead of checking like that, SAP is defaultly provided some of the connectivity with the 150 plus systems connectivities is established in this open connectors. We can directly consume that services inside of it. So for that by using this open connectors. So this is a technology guidelines. So integration technology guidance. So here if I wanted to get some more suggestions on the documentations created by the SAP CPI integration flows, then you can use this integration technology guidance. So they will provide some of the guidance. So based on that guidance, you can create and you can as an integration assessment. So like how so our creation created integration flow accuracy we can check by using this manage and provide integration technology guidance. So these are the six services the integration suite right now offering. So now we also have these different types of options here. So these are the discover, design, monitor. So most of these three will be the these three will be the mostly used options in for a CPA developer actually. So discover means, so what does mean by discover here? So discover will have all the prepackaged content. What does mean by prepackaged content? So for example, I have a requirement to connect with the one of the systems like let me check one of the integration package here. So these are all our integration packages. So here I just clicked on this discover, extended discover, and I just clicked on integrations. So now I got the different types of folders here. So this is called as a package. In short, this symbol is representing for package. So here you can see uh, so here you can see the integration between the Google Analytics and SAP Marketing Cloud. So here we are connecting with the Google application, I mean Google as a analyst application, and here we are target connecting with the SAP Marketing Cloud. So here you can see, so I have a requirement to connect with the SAP Analytics and then SAP Marketing Cloud. So that time, so no need of development from developer. So we already have this configuration, right? Ready-made configuration we have. So you can just go through the configuration what they did. So here we have a documents. So in the inside of the package we have a overview of this document. So what type of systems, what type of data it is taking, sales orders. So different types of data details we can get here, and these are the artifacts they already implemented actually. So these are the artifacts they already implemented. So here query, so these are the documents, so these are the artifacts they already implemented. So if the query, so these configurations and all is matching for your client requirement, then you can directly copy this and you can use for your client. So that means they are already provided the prepackaged content, just we have to consume them, that's all. So this is the configuration they made actually. So other than that, nothing they configured here. So just we can just configure, like we can change the source and target system configuration details, and we can deploy this integration flow, that's all.
So
So this is
Chandra,
a very
in real
simple.
time, yeah, in real time,
Yeah.
how it will be mostly will get we use discover standard content or most from design we need to go
So that depends upon our client
client
requirements
business.
actually.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
okay.
client
Mhm.
business requirement. So if the business
Because most of
requirement,
the business, right, they don't know the functionality of in middleware. So
yeah.
how they came to know this functionality already existing in CPA?
Yeah, actually, first of all, they will check with the SAP architect first of all. So the
Oh,
business,
okay, okay.
so
Acha.
yeah. So when they reach to SAP architects, the SAP architecture will assign that work to the CPA developers actually. So just
Acha,
we
okay,
will
okay.
do, yeah, we will do our analysis from our end. So based on this, we have this Google Analytics. So for example, your architecture requesting you to, so please check is there any prepackaged content between the to integrate SAP Analytics and SAP Marketing. So based on your
Mm-hmm.
analysis, what you will do is you can go to the Discover and you can find some of the packages. But you also
Okay,
don't
okay.
know this requirement is
Mm.
satisfying with our client or not. So then
Right.
again, our architectures will reach SAP. So like this
Okay.
is the our requirement. So we would like to connect with this. These are the systems from the source and these are the systems from the target. So is there any prepackaged content available for these systems already? So they will check with the SAP
Mm.
team actually. So that SAP team
Acha,
will
okay.
provide the proper inputs. So based on their inputs, we will configure this prepackaged contents. So if you
Okay,
have
okay.
any queries while consuming the prepackaged contents, we can reach out to the SAP as well. So they will
Okay.
provide their inputs on our requirement.
Oh, okay. So as per your experience, right? So mostly it will be standard one or custom we are using.
Yeah, that is like mostly custom. So
Oh, okay, okay,
mostly
yeah.
custom. So why? Because in our requirements, so mostly we got a custom requirements.
Right, right.
Right now in the
Mm,
market, most of them are
mm.
using custom requirements only. So when
Oh,
we
okay.
have a
So which we
standard
can build,
system,
yeah.
yeah, which we can build,
Okay.
yeah. The standard functions will be very, I mean, like rare requirements. Like even we have a standard, we can copy them and we can change for our requirements actually.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so that's
Acha.
right.
Mm.
So this is our so some of the documents. So these are the artifacts, right? So these are the documents about I mean related to that configurations what they made in the these artifacts. So here this tags means, so here you can see the tag means this is work. So uh, once the development is done, so we are moving these interfaces to the production, right? So once we move that production, so this tags will represent this package is related to the which products and which line of business. So for example, some of the messages are failing for some of these interfaces. So like once everything configuration is done, so some of the messages are failing actually. So based on these tags, we can find, so this is a SAP Marketing Cloud, SAP Marketing, Google Analytics. So based on this, we can involve these teams actually. Clear? So that is the reason we are using these tags to easily find out which product, which keyword, and which line of business it is. So this is actually the rating here. The use of this rating is, so this is a actually this documentation, right? This is a hub, right? So this is prepackaged content. So here we can also make our ranking here. So here you can see we have a clear documentation of mm, this integration flows. So here, so what are all the integration flows we have here? So 10 integration flows, right? So all the 10 integration flows details here. So you can also see the details in the here itself. So in the, I mean, API business hub as well. So this is the API business hub. So you, what are all the packages and what are all the pre-packaged content you can find here actually. So these are the four documents we have. So without CPA access also, you can go to the API Business Hub. You can find these details actually. What are all the prepackaged content we have? So this is about a pre-package, I mean discover actually. So design. So in the design, so we have an integration. So just focus on integrations. So remaining will be I mean configured or explained later. So just focus on discover integration, design integration, and monitor integration. So see here, these are the different types of I mean integrations we implemented. So here this is a custom integrations. So whatever the configuration, so for example in the discover I found one of the integration package, right? So if I wanted to configure, just click on that package. So for example this is Google Analytics, right? So just click on this package and click on copy here. So at the right top we have a copy option. If I click on copy, immediately it will copy to the design tab actually. So package copied. So now see where it is. So Google Analytics integration with SAP Marketing Cloud actually. So this is copied with this one just now, 30th March 2023. So like this, from here onwards you can configure and deploy the integration flow actually. So here you can create your own packages as well. Each package contains multiple. The package, what does mean by package here first of all? So before going to the package, what does mean by package? So package is nothing but a, here you can take it as example like a folder. So this folder, this package contains a n number of artifacts and artifacts related documents. So for example, see, this is for created for this artifact is configured for, so class 7. So if I open this, so here you can find all the artifacts related to this class actually. So here total 25 artifacts we configured here. So these are the artifacts. So based on that, if you want to edit that, so you can use this. So if just I am opening this for your understanding, so but I will clearly explain how to create a package and what is the work area. So here you can see this is one of the integration flow we configured here. Um, so this is our all the CPA developers will work most of the time. Developers time will spend in this page only. So here this page is called it as a SAP CPI web UI configuration page. Web UI configuration page. So here this page is divided into the total three parts actually. So here these are the configuration steps we have to use here. So this is called it as a palette options. So palette options. So palette ante what does mean by palette here is uh, what does mean by palette is here uh, the painter uh, when the painter is painting, he will not directly take the paint from the paint bottle. So first he will dip the brush in the paint bottle and he will apply that paint into the some pad in his hands actually. Some pad, that pad is called it as a palette. So that painter, to paint their paints, they will use that pad, right? That is called as a palette. For CPA developers also, for designing this integration flows, they need these options actually, like colors for the painter. So these are the palette options. So by using these palette options, you can configure different types of configurations here. So this is called as a palette options. Each palette options are used for different types of configurations. So we will configure and we will explain about all 90% of the 90% palette options here, and we will test it from the end to end here. So here this is called as a palette option, and this is called as a work area. So work area. So all the configurations will be done in this configuration only. So here below is the properties bar, property configuration. So when you are selecting empty place, you will get a integration flow properties. So entire integration flow properties. So here you can see this is a general, this is a runtime configuration, this is error configuration, resources. If I wanted to update any of the XSDs, so like in PI we are just implementing the data types and message types and message mappings and all, right? So here we cannot in CPI we cannot create structures in CPI environment. Just we will use so in PI we have a external definition is one of the option, like WSDL or XSD or DTD we are directly importing, right? So like that we will just directly import that XSD file into the our CPI resource and you can use in our mappings. So this is externalized parameters. We will configure this all the options one by one. So here this is the problem. So if there any errors in the configuration, it will shown here. So this is the deployment status, when it was deployed and when it is started running and who is deployed. So here these are the save and deploy options. So these are the this is called as a work area, and these are the properties actually. So if I want to know about this mail adapter configuration, I have to select this. So these are the mail adapter configuration we have. So these are the mail adapter configuration we are processing. These are the information. So if I want to know about this integration process, you can select this integration process actually. So here this is the HTTPS configuration. So sender adapter configuration this is. So like that we'll configure the custom integration flows. So I will explain what is edit mode in later, just for your understanding. I'm explaining this clearly. So once I deployed this integration flow, so you can check the status in the monitoring actually. So this is monitoring, right? This monitoring and in the integrations. So here these are the deployment of integration flows actually. So total 138 integration flows I deployed, and 132 are successful and 6 contain some errors. So this is so here you can see I just previously deployed this integration flow at morning. Okay, 7:25 I deployed this. So this is the endpoint URL to connect with this endpoint URL to this integration flow. So here if I want to know the message processing, so monitor message processing, you can select. So these are the messages processed from the, so from past 1 hour there is no message processed. I am selecting from past 24 hours. So total 2 messages are processed. You can see these 2 messages are failed actually. So like this you can check the message processing logs here. So here let me select past 24 hours for all the integration flows. So these are the from the last 24 hours, these are the messages processed. So you can also check the status as well. So for example, completed. So there is no past 24 hours, there is no such a completed message. See, from the past week, total 202 messages are completed status. So that means from the source to target, it was successfully processed. So these are the completed status. And if you wanted to filter only specific to one of the integration flow, you can also filter that name here. So we'll clearly explain each and individual option inside of this monitoring part. So these are the message monitoring, this is the artifacts monitoring, this is the security material monitoring. Actually security material means so I wanted to connect with a mail server from my integration flow. So there I have to provide the username passcode, right? Here in the adapter, in the iFlow level configuration, we are not able to place a username password directly. So that username password we have to store here first. Then we will use that no, name actually. So for example, this is a OC underscore test class 9, right? So here you can see inside of it we have a username and password. So just we can deploy this and you can use this name at the reference at the channel level. So just we are creating this one here. So inside of it we have a username and password. While runtime it will fetch that username and password. Key store. So for connecting with any of the HTTPS services or any of the SSH keys, I mean SFTP servers, we have to install the client certificates, right? So that client certificates will be stored in this key stores. And if I'm connecting with if I'm doing any PGP encryption or decryption, that PGP keys will be installed here. So if I want to connect with any of the JDBC systems, then we will use this JDBC, and this is a access control, I mean connectivity test. So by using this connectivity test, if I want to connect any of the systems, you can check the connectivity from here. So we have a number of system, I mean like different types of protocols. You can select this particular protocol and you can try to connect from here. So this is about a connection test. So this is the data stores for temporary storage purpose. So if I want to store the payload for a while, then you can use this data stores. If I want to store the variables, some of the variables like invoice numbers and all, then you can use these variables. Here message pro queues. So if I wanted to store the message in some of the queues, then you can use this queues option. So number ranges. So if I wanted to maintain some of the sequence of numbers, you can use this number ranges option. Here you will get the system logs. Here you will so for example, if I am editing one artifact and I leave this, I mean unfortunately my system was locked. So that means that object is locked by name, my name actually. So that object's locks will be removed from here actually. In pi we will go to the administration and manage locks we will go, and we will release that lock. So like that, in the same way, we have a different types of artifacts list here. So whatever the artifact you want to edit, just click on it and release the locks here. So that's all. So based on that, you can easily edit someone locked integration flows. So this is about the complete discover, design, and then monitoring phase, and also about a btp. What is btp, what is sub account, and what is global account, and what I also explained about a neo and the cloud foundry environment as well. So any queries here from anyone? Anyone like Vamsi, Siva, Arun, Srinath? Any queries?
Sir,
Chandra, no, when we joined officially, that time again you will be telling from the first class, or else you will continue from here.
No, no. While anyway we will get the access, right? So I will
Ah,
explain you the access of each and everything steps, right? So to create a sub account, to create,
yeah.
to subscribe to the integration services, to adding the capabilities of the CPI. So that will these all steps will be repeated again while
Okay.
getting the CPA tenant, trial tenant actually.
Okay.
These steps all will be
Wi-
explained
wi-
again.
will you cover this trading partner management also B2B?
No, actually.
Okay.
So just our main focus in this sessions are, here we have total three services, right? So that is this integration. So building integration scenarios. So that is
Okay.
integration, discover integration, design integration, and then monitor integration, and also this implement interfaces and mappings, and extend non-SAP connectivity. So these are the three concepts will be covered here.
Okay.
So this is not this simply it is called as open connectors here, non-SAP connectivity,
Okay. And
and a BTP
recording
provisioning.
sessions will be provided. Recording
Sorry.
sessions will be provided. Recording sessions will be provided, or else.
Yes, Srikanth. Yes, recording
Okay.
sessions will
Okay.
be provided by Emacs. So, for example, today this class is done at 9, right? After 10 or 10:30, you will get the recorded session in the drive. They will provide the drive URL with you, so you can access from there.
okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
And in case of any queries while practicing,
Yeah.
can it be
In
addressed
case of
same day or else next day? No.
yeah, you can discuss anytime. You can stop anywhere when you have any query. Okay. So or else if you have any queries in while practicing, every day first we will provide, I mean, 10 to 15 minutes of time for every day for queries, then we can start our session.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then so we'll connect on a scheduled time, so we can start. I hope we will start in the next week the batch. So based on that, you can register for that one.
Sir,
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time.
sir,
Yes, Rina.
hello. Sir, this is the starting section for first class, sir.
Actually, yes, it is a starting session. You can treat it as a first session of introduction of SAP BTP and SAP CPI. Yeah,
Okay. The
yeah.
recording video will be written, no, sir.
This is not sure. This demo recorded videos are provided or not. But once you register for this course, they will provide these all the sessions actually.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.